like legit, like.
Yo,
And
spit on you, bro. That happens to me, bro. I get so upset, but you gotta keep on going.
No, I hear you, and I do. Like, even for me, I have those games. I'll still play, like, nonetheless.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, right, like, it would be cool to see them make it more about actually making it Fortnite. Real quick, before you guys get into this video, I just wanted to tell you that we had run into some issues while recording on the technical side of things and lost some of the footage initially in the video, the intro included. I did do the best job I could at splicing together the footage, and pretty much everything following that point is there. The video was a little broken up because we had run into some more issues down the line, but it is all there. I kind of trimmed down the video just a bit, but all the rest of the content is there for you guys to listen to and watch. We also are going to post at the end of the video. There's going to be a picture that comes up that's with every one of our handles. Without further ado, though, I hope you guys enjoy the video. All of our different channels, just so you guys could see that. We'll pull up Brad's right here. And he's over at Twitch at Brad.
Yeah.
Right there. Yep. Dope.
Dope.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead, give this guy a follow. He's a really, really, really good Fortnite player.
I try my best.
It's the humble response. Yeah, I try my best. Yeah.
And then we got Troy right here.
Troy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's at Trademarks. Or actually, no, this is that's for music. You have my other one.
Oh, it's the wrong page.
No,
okay.
I mean you can follow that too, though.
That's perfect.
You can follow that too. Yeah, that works out.
Yep,
It's all there.
Music.
Oh man, I had the wrong one pulled up. My bad.
No, that's cool. Hey man, I'll take. It's all. That one's actually the one that's connected with.
Things happen for a reason, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It was fate. It was fate. This one's connected with my Instagram too, so it works out. But it's at the Trademarks. But this is has a lot of the footage I put on Instagram as well. So, yeah, cool. And then Rob, you have yours there as well.
Yeah, this is mine right here. So _every_gamer on Mixer. Lately been playing Paladins. We play Warzone a lot as well, but we've been kind of on a Paladins grind. We've been having fun with that. So if you want to pop in there, Instagram is at the Every Gamer. If you want to check out my Instagram.
I'm gonna put all of our I'll put all of our IG tags right at the bottom when we make the video up. And then
but what are we drinking tonight, boys? What are we drinking?
Brad, start it off, man. What do you got?
Started off? All right,
yeah.
started off. I'm drinking, the Modelo,
Yeah, man.
That's just said so gracefully. He's like Modelo, like it was like this.
Yeah, a simple word and simple beer and really good,
Yeah,
that's a good choice, man. You can't really go wrong. Yeah. Cheers to that, man. Cheers,
yes, sir.
Cheers.
Oh man, we're giving away what I'm drinking. So I'm drinking a Fat Tire. It's an amber ale. This is like my go-to from New Belgium. Like I love this beer. I can drink this literally year round. I can drink this as a session beer. I can drink it all night. Like this is just a great go-to beer. The other thing I'll say too, I'm not gonna say you can't get hungover with these, but I will say you can drink quite a bit of these, and in my experience, personal experience, I don't really get hungover from these. So I love, like, if you're into a beer like that, this is a very good beer for that.
That's what's up.
So
yeah, beer's nothing too heavy, man.
Now you mentioned that, I feel the same way, Modelo. I don't get hangovers. I usually, if I get a hangover, it has to be like liquor, and it has to be a lot.
Yeah. Oh, liquor is a different. It's a different beast. Liquor's a different beast.
That's why I love beer.
No, dude, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I'm keeping like super fucking simple.
He's got a Post Malone up in here, the Bud Light, man. Wait, let's see it, Troy. Let's see the Bud Light, man.
I'm gonna be a Bud Light sponsor, bro.
You're honorary.
Yeah, I drink so many, and it's usually not even by choice. It's usually that, like, whenever I chill, like if I have my friends around, that's the beer that they're gonna bring. So I'm always drinking that shit just because the people that I'm with drink that. But it's not my beer of choice. It's there though. I'm not shitting on it. It's just not. It's if I had options here tonight, I would have had something special for you. I would have gotten some fancy beers, Brad.
Some fancy beers, exactly. That's what we call them.
All right, yo, what's our first thing? We got a bunch of leaks here, bro. We got a lot of stuff we could talk about. So Brad, why don't you kick us off, bro? You talking about this flare gun, so now I'm interested.
Yo, sure. I just want to make sure real quick. Are we definitely recording? I don't see the recording symbol.
Are we not? Did it fall through again? Yeah, I guess it fell through again. It's okay. I can plug that stuff in.
I started recording, bro. I got it too. I got it.
Okay, so there you go. All right, so I'll put in our entry like at the end when we close up. But I guess in the meantime, kind of hop in. So we have a bunch of leaks, like I was saying. Got a bunch of leaks to talk about. What are we? What's our first thing, bro? You talking about the flare gun, right?
Well, yeah. So, first of all, thank you guys for bringing me into the show. You know, it's an honor, honestly, because I always wanted to do something about this gamers, you know, talk all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Thank you guys. And
thanks for being here, bro.
I love Fortnite. So it was a great topic you guys mentioned and everything, you know. And there's a bunch of new leaks, new seasons coming, June 4th, right?
Yeah, June 3rd, June 4th, yeah.
So that means there's 18 days,
17? Yeah, something like that, right?
Around there. Yeah. So, you know, what you got to do, the challenges, you guys got to complete all that. Y'all got to go do it right now. Well,
I'm way behind. I got to start playing more.
Personally, I'm trying to get the gold Pilly.
Yeah,
me too. Philly, like I need.
What level are you right now?
I'm at 230, and that's it.
Oh my god!
I'm tired.
Oh my god! There's no way I'm getting that.
I'm sitting at 222 right now, bro. I'm like, I feel the slack though. I'm like, bro, I have to do this soon because I know it's like right around the corner, bro. If I don't start grinding, but they did a good job though. They dropped a lot.
It's a bunch of challenges now, so each challenge is like 50 XP, 50,000 XP. So you know.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So. What I was saying, you said the flare gun, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw about the flare gun. So there's a rumor saying that there's a new gun and it's the flare gun, and I think it was introduced in season. I think it was season 9.
Okay.
Where it was the boat. Remember the boat, the volcano. Then we had the combat grenade. I mean the combat shotguns.
Yes. Yeah. Are you talking about? The combat shotguns were the ones that or no, that was the heavy, right? That hit better at long range. The combat, I know what the combat is. Yes. That was with the John Wick season. Yeah. That was when, I know what you're talking about.
That's a while, but wait, the first John Wick or the second one?
No, the real John Wick, the second one. Yeah, when they had that. That was around season 10, I think.
Okay.
I think it was season 10. Or was it 9? I don't know. I'm bad at this.
There's been a lot of seasons at this point.
Yeah, you don't even know. But
seriously.
Okay, so that happened, and it was introduced in the trailer when Jonesine was in the beach, and it was shooting the flare gun in the air to get seen.
Yes. I know what you're talking about now.
It hit the bus, and the bus fell. It got on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they were saying that it was gonna come to that day. I mean that season, but it didn't. So now they're bringing it back. So it might happen in this season, and with that being mentioned, they also mentioning the new engine. Remember Engine 6? I forgot their full name. You know the full name.
Unreal Engine 6. Yeah. They're saying now that because of that, they're gonna actually for the Xbox One X, the Xbox X series, and then the PS5 are actually gonna re-drop Fortnite as starting lineup titles for them because now it's on the new Unreal Engine.
What's it going to be? It's probably going to run more like maybe the PC version would run, probably like maybe better FPS.
I would assume
graphics.
so.
I think it's all of them.
Yeah, it would have to be because if they're making a boost, that means that even the PC right now is probably on U5. So
and when's that come? When's this update coming?
When the new system is coming out.
So in the holiday season at some point, somewhere around then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or it might be.
I look forward to that.
Or it might be you were right. Maybe it might be only for PC. We don't know yet. For now.
Well, I could see it just being for PC though. I don't like. Nah. I don't know. Like them. Well, at least immediately. Not if enough time elapses. I feel like okay, they'll definitely do it. But I could see it hitting the PC prior to the other.
So that's another thing that I wanted to mention was that I think I saw an article somewhere. Don't remember. They said that we were gonna get that late 2021. Unreal Engine.
That new update.
The real on engine for the PS5 and the Xbox.
Okay, so maybe it'll be early next year, maybe.
Yeah, early next year.
Mm.
So with that, I feel like so they're bringing out the when you build, when you
Mhm.
shoot the flare gun, you might be able to bring those builds down with fire.
That would
Turn
be
them into
tight.
fire.
That'd
So
be
I
crazy.
feel like that's gonna change the game. People are not gonna build as much because people hate that. Some people hate that, honestly.
Well,
Mm.
okay, let me ask you this though. Are we talking like so that's probably my only question about that. Would they does it look like it's going to take down all builds or we're just talking wood builds? Cuz wood's obviously the most abundant. That's the easiest resource to get your hands on, right? But would it affect other buildings? Would it stay active? Or would it be like the
And
kind
how
of thing
fast
where
would it be is another question.
True,
Like,
we
yeah.
would
don't
it
know
burn
yet.
slowly or would it just kind of like take it out pretty fast? Like, I wonder. I mean, again, these are rumors, right? So
Yeah.
we don't really 100% know, but it's kind of fun to talk about. Let's say they introduce a weapon like this, and they're going to have a flare gun that can light things on fire. Like, yeah, what's it going to do? Is it only going to affect wood? How quickly will it burn? Yeah, these are kind of cool things to talk about.
My theory is that they're gonna bring the flare gun, but I don't think they're gonna bring it right away.
Mm.
And maybe with that, little by little, they're gonna add another thing that's gonna bring buildings down. For example, brick or metal. Because
Well,
before they had, remember those things that you would throw and it would be like rockets, missiles shooting down, bring the builds down.
yes, I know what you're talking about.
So
Yes,
I don't know. Maybe they add something like that. Who knows?
that okay. All right, so I'll say this. I feel like that's a bad and good thing. I think it's a bad thing for the game as a whole because obviously a lot of those like top tier players rely heavily on building. So anything that comes into the meta that like takes that away from them is obviously going to hurt that crowd, or at least I could see that being the case because these guys do complain about things that get brought into the game that like fuck up the meta, right? Like
Yeah.
whether that's the vehicles like the brute or
The
like the
airplanes at one
airplanes,
point,
yeah,
the
like
jetpacks.
shit like that
Yeah.
fucks the meta up. I feel like they're usually tilted about, so I could see that being an issue for the main crowd. The good side of it, I'd say though, is that's gonna simplify battles a lot more, which could, I think, could it kind of increase the velocity of the game. Like you could jump in and things would kind of just like, because what I mean is like right now, if you were to get into a fight, usually a fight will take you a couple of minutes if the person builds well. Like it's not like you're gonna kill them right off the bat. If they know what they're doing, they're gonna get around you. Yeah, you have to go for a chase. So it's like if building becomes less prevalent, that means that fights happen a lot quicker, which means more engagement, which means more time spent actually fighting people as opposed to like figuring. I mean, I don't know. I think that's the only good side is that I would like to see more like fights.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. I like to fight more, so that's why I'm really an aggressive player. When I play, I push a lot and I die a lot because of that.
oh, of course, I know.
But
I'm the
I don't
same way.
mind sometimes because I feel like that's how you get better. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point because like Troy just said, he's kind of an aggressive player, and I would
Yeah.
say I'm more of kind of like a reactive. Like, I'd rather counter a mistake that you make and try to capitalize on it. That's kind of how I play. And Troy's kind of the more of the type of person who wants to kind of just run in there. But I remember when me and him started playing this game a lot more. What was it? Maybe a couple months ago, Troy, you weren't really playing the game, and I kind of started talking about it, and we started playing again, and then it was like off to the races. Like, we just like started playing the game nonstop, and
Yeah, and it was nonstop hot drops every
and
time.
that was the thing. Yeah, we
Nonstop.
started
Yeah, when I
hot
would play with him,
dropping.
he would say the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we started
Hot
hot
drops for
dropping
days,
all
bro.
the time, and it was like I'd play with my brother or a couple other friends, and they'd play with me and Troy, and they'd be like, "Why are we always hot dropping? I don't like this." And it's like, but dude, like, know what it is? It's like you don't prolong your death. Like, if you die at the beginning, you die and you go on to a new game. Whereas, like, in other games, you might survive 20 minutes, not see anybody, and then the first encounter you're in, you die. And it's like, I just wasted 20 minutes. Like, I'd rather get some action in, prove myself, get some skill, get some, some work in right at the get-go, and get better. And like me and Troy, we do that a lot. So, like, yeah, I think hot dropping is a good way to do that. I feel like people need to do it more.
Another thing that I noticed about Fortnite is that this game turned into a 50-50.
Like,
Each
what do you
time
mean?
you drop, each time you drop or you fight somebody, it's a 50-50. Because you won't know if he's good or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you are, but you don't know who they are.
Yeah, and that's also like that can change a lot depending on like.
I think it's gonna change, and that's another thing that you said that that is it changed and it's not fair for other people. For example, controller and keyboard.
Mhm.
You saw how they changed the settings for controllers, and now you guys only have I think linear And
Yes, as far as it's like
there's a
legacy got taken away or
like
something. It was something like that.
you got linear right now, and not another thing I forgot.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't tell you
I
off the
think
top
it's
of my head.
two. I think it's two.
When did that happen? That was recent.
That was like a month ago, month and a half
That's it, I
ago.
It
think.
must not have affected whatever setup I have because it
So
feels the same the last time I played
no,
it.
no, no. It is the same for consoles, but for PC, what had happened is that you could play Fortnite with key mouse and keyboard, and you just connect your PC or controller, Xbox or PS4, and it'll be the same thing as console. But obviously, the aim assist is different. They saying that it's more
okay.
accurate. It's more like you ever seen aimbot, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you see how aimbot locks in right away. Yeah, that's happening right now. So right now,
Wow.
I'm probably gonna get hated for this right now, but I honestly think controllers for PC controllers in PC right now a little advantage on the aiming side.
Well, I've heard about that even with Call of Duty. Like I've heard
Yeah,
PC players
yeah,
complaining about the aim assist
yeah.
that
Same
controller
thing.
players get. So wait, just for the record, you play all PC?
Yeah, right now I play all
Okay.
PC now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to make the upgrade. Like I kind of want to do that. I just haven't gotten to that point yet. But
Do it,
so
man.
so did you used to play console
Yeah.
or you've kind of been playing PC forever?
No, I play console my whole entire life. I first started
But
with
when did you
maybe
start playing PC?
like a year and a half.
Wow.
Almost.
Okay. So a little bit new, like
Yeah.
not super,
You get
so
right
how do
into
you
it
like
though.
it?
You get right
How do
into
you
it.
you like it?
Good, man. It's fun.
You prefer it?
I prefer it, and
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. If we get to that point later on talking about the systems, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be good.
Yeah, there's a lot
Well,
to be
know
said
what?
about
I mean,
those.
one thing I will say is that I know Warzone and Fortnite for Xbox and PS4 support keyboard and mouse, so you could literally plug a keyboard and mouse into your Xbox or
Yeah.
PS4. I actually have not done it just because I don't really have a setup to accommodate.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't have a desk, like I have like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
TV stand, so I don't really have a spot to play with the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will say that is kind of cool that they allow that. I think that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that is dope.
Good.
I mean, it definitely gives more options. Like you have just like having the variety of kind of choosing how you want to, in Fortnite, even with the, like you were saying with the controls and just having like legacy or linear or whatever that is, like just having options. In terms of the Fortnite advantage though, with having a controller versus like keyboard and mouse, I don't know. I feel like, yes, don't get me wrong, right? The aim assist can heavily affect someone's shot, especially if you don't have a good shot, it's going to help a lot. But I feel for people that are used to playing on keyboard and mouse and are good at like tracing their enemies, I don't really see it as much of an advantage, like in that sense. Just because I mean, being able to track someone with a mouse is way easier than doing it on a joystick. Like
that's true.
That's just the truth.
Well, let's leave it at this. I mean, like when you think about the best streamers, the best competitive gamers, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's some Nick Mercs out there. There's some of these like good, controller players, but let's be honest. I mean, most of them are all keyboard and mouse. So like, don't get me wrong. Like I love Dr. Disrespect, but I saw him complaining about like playing Modern Warfare and people with controllers having the aim assist. And it's like, dude, like I love you. You're super entertaining, but come on, man. Like, let's be real. Like everybody kind of knows keyboard and mouse is superior. I mean, I'm not going to say that the aim assist isn't a factor, but when you just weigh everything together, I feel like there's a reason why all the top pro competitive gamers are all PC. I mean, most of them are. Let's be honest. Like if we're going to talk about it, what is it? 90% of them? It's probably more than 90%. So I feel like it's kind of a useless argument to try to complain about it.
Argument, it's content, it's drama, and
I love Dr. Disrespect, man. I love him so much. He's hilarious. He's freaking deleting games constantly and screaming and rage quitting, and he's freaking awesome.
The thing is that is how he could get away with it. He can say whatever you want. He can get away with it.
Yeah,
depending on what he says. When we said. But
most of what he says,
like you say, it's a pointless argument. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be there, and it's not gonna change. Maybe it will, and it's gonna be a wave, just like before. Controller was, ASS, and everyone was getting beat up by a mouse and keyboard. But now controllers is dominant, and even the controller players are saying it themselves. But it's a pointless argument in a way.
It's just hard to say though. That's like, you know what I mean? Because I'm saying like you're definitely right in the sense of like there is that advantage that exists depending on the way you look at it. But I'm saying then in the same light that you're saying that there's an advantage for people who are playing Fortnite to be able to lock in on their targets, or maybe even in Call of Duty. I feel like when you talk about keyboard and mouse as an overall, I just think it's better. Like, let's say you took the aim thing out of the argument. It's like, think about it in Fortnite, bro. You're going to build, edit, and do everything way quicker on a keyboard than you are on a controller. Like, your binding is like you can do anything you want. You can fucking make enter your wall.
So, Brad, like, I don't know a ton about your play style. So you said you're aggressive, so I know that. Are you a big builder? Do you like building? What is your play style in Fortnite?
I do like building, and I'm just starting to get more into building because it's really important. And I'm not the best builder, but I'm getting there. I've been practicing, and the more you do, the more you get better. The same thing with controller.
Because like Troy's really big on building, and he's very good at it. And like kind of like you just said, like I'm trying to get better with it. But if I had to be honest and assess myself, like I'm more of kind of what I said before. Like I'm almost like a counter.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather like I'll do a little bit of a build, and then I kind of want to wait and see what the other person does, and I'd rather counter on a mistake they make and capitalize on that than like just get into this insane build battle. So there's all different ways to play, which I like about Fortnite. It's cool because you have the crazy builders who get in these insane build battles, and then you might have people who are a little bit more like, no, I'm going to kind of try to get you. I'm going to get you, like capitalize on a mistake. So there's different ways to play. So you're kind of like in between maybe a little bit like.
Yeah, in between. But it also depends. Like I said, if you see that person wants smoke, it's up to you if you want the smoke. Either you're going to get the smoke or you're going to run away from the smoke. So I don't know. It also depends on what happens and where you at. Because, you know, like Fortnite, like Battle Royale, the same thing with Warzone. You might be outside the circle. You might not even have time to fight. Because if you fight, it might take 30 seconds and the circle's probably closing. And then you're done. You probably kill him and you're not going to have health. If you're lucky.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make the decision. Like, am I going to stay and fight, or am I just going to run because there's not going to be enough time to survive? But then if I don't fight, this guy's going to shoot me in the back. Yeah. So it's like I
don't know. It's a mood, something that got to happen.
Well, I'm kind of the same way, man. Like I feel like in a lot of the battles that I get myself into, I usually like if I see an opportunity, sure, I'll take that. I'll go in for a kill. Yeah. But more or less, I try. I'm going to say that because I know I don't do a great job at it, but I try to like pick my fights. You know, like I don't know. For me, it's important to like discern for myself if it's worth it or not. Sometimes I'll let people run by. Like if I'm at low health and I know I'm probably not going to make the most of a situation,
and there's like 4 guys and you're like 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. All right, let me not. That's for me. It's hard to do though sometimes because in that game, it's like Brad, you were saying, like you sometimes I don't know, man. Like you think that it's gonna be something that it's not. Like when especially if you're in the storm, like you have to actually really think. Like if I fight this guy right now, coming out of this, am I even gonna have enough health to survive? Like, is it worth it? That's why I get tight about that kind of stuff. When people do that to me, like I'm like, bro, why? Like, come on, man. Like, there's so many. Yeah, that kills me, bro. I can't stand when people do that.
It's an endless conversation, to be honest. It's like endless conversation with that. But I think we lost track. And another point when we said the flare gun, and when we go back to Fortnite, the leaks, I think the map is gonna be flooded. They're saying.
I agree.
Like with water, like literally, like. Oh, so there's going to be way more water on the map.
Yeah, way more water. And you've seen those posters that it was they're all over Fortnite and sweaty it says sweaty insurance, something like that. There's posters of
a kitty I know. Yep.
Lifeboat, whatever it is.
I know what you're talking about, those posters, yeah.
And it's a house with a floaty under. So it's floating on the water, a house floating on the water. So, you know.
Really? Oh, it's going to be like some water world type of crap.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I haven't played in a while, so I haven't even seen any of what you're talking about.
There's none of that right now. It's just the river is regular. Same thing. But that's a leak. That's a leak that they're saying, yeah.
You know, the things near, what is it? Fucking the agency, those little things in the ground.
Yeah.
Like in the
water. I did
notice
those, yeah.
Are starting to rise. And I don't know, man. I feel like
I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Yeah. They're like little poles in the ground at the agency, and over time they've they've gotten like they've come out of the ground more. So I don't know. Like I feel like that could be a really good thing or a really bad thing, man. Because if they do the flooding thing, then you got to think it's going to be one of two things. They're either going to make swimming where you're capable of diving, or it's straight up going to be underwater, and like the mechanics are all going to be different and shit. And that's
another
where
thing
I'm
what
like,
they're saying too. That how you gonna build?
yeah, if you're in the
You can
water,
barely build in water now with those little rivers.
yeah, it's true because it goes deeper now.
Yeah.
I would like to see a dive mechanic though. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I just feel like they'd have to execute that the right way.
They're saying that they presenting that dive mechanic on the Travis Scott concert.
That's what I was saying. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because there was a thing in that where you're swimming around for a little bit. Yeah. And it seemed kind of well done, right? I mean, like for something you just throw into really this concert, it seemed to work pretty well.
It looked really, really good. And then with that being said, and what you said also, Troy, that the agency, the water's gonna come out from the agency.
Yep, I can
and
see
it makes sense too, because every other season, everything happens in the middle of the map. Lou Lake, now it's the agency. You know, all of that's happening.
I feel like that, but that's one of those things. I feel like that could be really good or really bad if they're not careful about that. Because think about it, you're already talking about bringing in like a weapon, let's say, that's gonna pretty much change the scope of the game. You know,
maybe yeah.
But you know, like, cool. Because think about it. Because if building goes out the window, like that's gonna change everything. That's gonna be like, you know,
that's never gonna leave, but it might change a bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are still going to build, but they'll be heavily affected. They're going to think twice about it if they know that, like, okay, if I get into a build battle, someone shoots a flare at the bottom of my thing, like, it's going to go down. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those, like, it could be bad. Like, if that's included, and then you talk about a fully underwater map where, or like, even if it's not full water, but you have sorry, I'm getting like a prompt right now on my screen. But like if you have a full water map and building's already difficult, you know what I mean? That could it just, I don't know.
And then what do you got? What are they going to have with boats? Like everybody's got to get in vehicles, and then we're having weird, like a ton of vehicle battles. Like, it's going to change a game. Oh yeah, you said that before, right? Yeah, something about a shark.
You're gonna get around with that shark, and you're gonna be able to shoot. Supposedly, I don't know how it's gonna work neither, but they're saying that a lot. And Cyber PK and a lot of streamers have mentioned that. And you know, sometimes they're not wrong when they say those things.
One thing we can say is if you look at Fortnite, like in the past, they have kind of taken chances. Like remember that season where they had the robots that you get in and you're battling in the robots?
The worst thing ever.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They take those chances, and like the airplanes. Remember the airplanes, and like that was, So like that's what I'm saying. Like, so who knows? Maybe we'll end up hating it, or maybe we'll like it. But like, one thing I guess even if I end up not liking it, I kind of like that the developers like we're going to take a chance to do something different. I think, and then. And it's always kind of something different. So I guess in that aspect, it's kind of cool, even if it's kind of it's hit or miss. And it might be a miss. I guess we'll see what happens, but I kind of like that they are willing to do it.
With like too much water, bro. Like too much water, I could see that being rough.
And like you said, they take big risks. So who knows? They might even cancel building, and it's gonna turn maybe into a more shooting game.
Dude, if they cancel building, I feel like everybody would just
I don't think it's gonna be canceled. But I think it's going to be limited.
Minimize it a little bit.
It's going to be limited. That's all I can say. Texting him like, yo, bring me
some of that White Claw.
Slurp juice.
He was drinking White Claw earlier, man. I saw it.
I know, bro. I should have I was out earlier too, and I was by Beer Nugget, and I was like, nah, I'll come back later. And then when I checked again, they were closed. I was like,
just pretend it has some beer, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to
do. Just pretend you're having a little sippy sip.
Yeah. But where we left off?
We were talking about, I think we were just talking about like, oh, you guys are saying that if they change the building, that's what it was.
It might be limited.
Yeah. So, but I don't like that, bro. I'm gonna be honest, or not.
That's what sets them apart, right? I mean, like,
what, that they're willing to take chance. Or you're saying the building. Yeah.
I feel like limiting the building is gonna piss off so many people. Yeah. It's not a good move.
Fortnite's already pissing a lot of people off right now, so it's nothing new, and. I'm also thinking that Fortnite's doing the same thing they did when they first started the game. They
What do you
taking
mean?
the chances and they put in things and they're gonna see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, they're gonna hold it off for the new season because they're still gonna generate money, you know,
No, it's
regardless.
true. I mean, yeah, they're.
So I feel like they're repeating themselves. That's how I feel. I feel like they're just repeating the things. And with that being said, and I feel like also they're gonna make it up for us, especially for the OGs, you could say, OGs, because they're
Yeah.
saying they're gonna have 2 new skins. I don't know if you play season 2. Do you play season 2?
I played from the very
Yes.
first season.
Yeah. So you
yeah.
bought the season 2 battle pass?
No, that
I
was
don't
no.
know.
My first battle pass was season 3.
I don't know what battle. I don't know if I bought the battle pass, but I bought it from literally like the first like 2 weeks the game was out in beta. I didn't buy it. I just downloaded it. It was
So
I
let me
played
ask
it
you
early.
something. Do you have John Wick, the first one?
I
Yeah, I
didn't
do.
buy him.
I
I
do.
didn't buy him.
No. Not because there's 2 John Wicks.
Yeah,
both.
I know. There's
don't
the
have-
one that was in the battle pass that looked like John
But
Wick.
did you
but
have
it's
the
not
battle
official.
pass?
I don't know. I probably
You
didn't
don't
buy
remember?
the first one.
I had
probably
that
didn't buy
one.
it.
I had that battle pass.
I don't have it, so I didn't buy that battle pass.
All right, so I guess they're considering that as an OG maybe, and they're gonna. I don't know if you ever seen that skin, the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight?
What's
Like-
Batman?
Batman.
No, the Dark. Oh, well, it says Dark Knight. I
Oh,
think.
you're talking about yes, I know who you're talking about. He was like the level 100 one. He was the Red Knight or whatever.
Oh, Red. I think it was
Or
Red Knight.
Black
Yeah.
Knight or whatever. Yeah, I know
I
what you're
definitely
talking
Black
heard
about.
about
Knight.
some night. Yeah.
Yeah. The last one, basically.
Yeah.
gonna
I'm
bring
sorry.
him back?
The John Wick. I'm sorry. The John Wick was season 3.
That's what I was gonna
I'm
say because that's
sorry.
the first one I had was season 3.
Yeah, season 2 was the Dark Knight. So they're gonna be a new skin for that for the OGs. It's gonna be blue. It's like blue.
Oh,
That's dope.
cool.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
they're gonna
That's
get
dope.
that, and then in that same season there was Dark Voyager. It was with the skin. It's all blacked out. It's a spacesuit and it's all black.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
I've
yeah.
seen that. Yeah, it's really.
They're gonna
cool.
give you a free female version, or it might be in the item shop.
What? So that's only if you played in those seasons, or
That's if you had that season.
Okay, then I should get that because I played from the first couple weeks the game was out.
Yeah,
I
if you
didn't buy
had
the
that season,
battle
you'd be good.
pass, but
Yeah.
hopefully I still get it.
And then you also saying that they're gonna customize umbrellas. You're gonna be able to customize your umbrella.
Oh man, that's gonna be.
What do you
bad.
mean, like
People are gonna put
colors
some-
and like?
You
like,
see
what
when
do
you
mean?
dive in and you just glide out the umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
I think supposedly you're gonna be able to customize the umbrella.
Well, you saw those things, Troy. We bought that thing where you can whatever your emblem is, it would like put it on that.
The banner
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, your banner. You could have different like you could have like a flag or like a shield on your back, or so that was kind of cool. They did that recently.
And they also, I think they did it on a game mode on Fortnite, just recently for like a couple days, I believe. It's you could change your skin in game.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so that I feel like that's a game changer too. You could
So
change.
how does that work?
So you see the phone booths when you could
Okay.
already change to the henchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be blue instead.
Ah. So what, you
So-
go in there and select whatever skin you want?
Yeah,
or
and you see how
in-game?
right now you have a locker now. You actually have a locker in your game where you can edit your skin and you can save it and then do another one, save it with the different camos.
Oh,
and
so you'll
stuff.
pick from those.
Oh.
Fortnite
that makes
already has
sense.
it right now. Why
Mhm.
not? Yeah, so you're gonna go into that phone booth and you're gonna be able to select which class you want.
That's fucking.
Oh, that's
dope.
really
That's
cool.
cool. That's awesome. Actually, that's a really.
I
cool
think
one.
that's good. That's more
so-
fun.
So what do you think? So kind of going back though for this for what we were talking about with the building, right? So I feel like when I first started playing Fortnite, besides maybe a couple of the like best kids, people usually didn't build that much. Like building got progressive. That was like a thing that people just became more aware of. Like generally now, even the average player could build pretty decently, whereas before it's like seeing someone who built, let alone built well, was like crazy. Like you didn't, when the game first came out,
Yeah.
it wasn't that common. Like most people you ran into, you probably just fight. And maybe people throw up a couple walls or something, but usually it wasn't anything like what they do now. So what I was getting at is, when the game first dropped, it kind of seemed like it seemed like to me building was more about like the preemptive, whereas now it's more reactionary, right? So what I mean by that is like if you got a good spot on the map, you just start building, create like a fortress, kind of like fortify yourself. Where now you really don't do that. Like you might build like a 4x4 and build up, but you don't usually build beyond that. And like you kind of just wait, and then when you engage somebody, that's when you build.
You brought it back.
Right. Like, but that's the thing. So if it was more like that, would that really be a bad thing? Would that be a bad thing for the game? If it was more like that, if they limited, let's say, hypothetically, if they really wanted to take building out, the best way to do that would be to limit your resources, like the cap, so you can't.
Didn't they do that? Didn't they do
That's
that a
what I'm
couple seasons ago?
Yeah, they limited it to 500.
It didn't go over well. Like people were whining.
Well,
and
right now,
complaining about
arena,
it, right?
you can only get 500.
In
So
arena,
1,500 mats. You can only get 1,500 mats. But if you play pubs, that's 3,000 mats.
Yeah. It's half. Yeah.
And that's another thing that you said, limited maps. If there's gonna be a lot of water, what's the trees, the cars, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly my point. Like, what are you gonna dive and fucking pickaxe a car? Like, you're not gonna do that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, that just seems like a weird concept.
Man. It's a really interesting season, and like I said, Fortnite is really good into getting into people's minds and mess with it and think hard and exploit the game a lot, because that's basically what the game. I mean, that's basically how the game is kept alive right now. Actually, I feel like it's
That's
just
true.
how people talk about it, the controversy, the content, the gamers.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, that's true.
It's good that they're keeping the game fresh. I get it. They want to keep the game fresh. They're changing the environment, etc., the guns, etc. But this season, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. This season, I miss how before they used to change the game. They used to change the guns constantly.
Yeah.
It will change the meta. It will change the game style, the gameplay. Right now, I feel like there's a meta where if you get in that box, if it's a box, right now you ever heard of box fights, right?
Yeah.
So right now, if you don't know how to box fight, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
You're gonna die in the end game. You're gonna die because nowadays people are gonna take your walls faster. They're gonna edit. They're gonna shoot you, or they're gonna spray you with the SMG, or like just like I said, maybe I'm probably gonna get controversy with the controller players, but if you got a controller, if you get in the box, you're gonna get those shots 100%.
Yeah,
you're gonna 100%, and it's gonna die. So the meta right now is really aggressive, OD aggressive towards the game end, and I think they want to change that. I think they want to change that with this season. And like I said again, they're repeating themselves. They want to start from bottom and then go up, and then bottom and go up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think that is. Do you guys think if, let's say, like I said, let's say they limit your mats, or they make it in an environment like where it's maybe underwater, where mats are harder to come by, and or it's harder to find places in which you could build. Yeah. Do you think taking that aspect of the game and not completely like removing the mechanic of building, but like really, really transforming it into something much simpler? Do you think that would be bad for the game, or do you think that would be kind of a fresh start? Because I'll be honest with you, I think so. I'm kind of going to go back to what I was saying before, right? With how when Fortnite first came off, Rob, you started playing from like day one pretty much. Brad, I know you've been playing since day one pretty much. For myself, I've started on like late season 2, early season 3. So I've been around for a while. I mean, I took some time off nonetheless, but when you talk about those earlier times of the game, right, and you're talking about, people not building as much, it wasn't like how it is now. It's like you said, like Brad, what you're saying now with the whole box fighting thing, like that's 100%. If you don't know how to fight, in a 4x4 with somebody and edit your shit and get around and maneuver, you're pretty much smoked every time. For anybody that's halfway decent, they're going to know how to do that, at least to some degree, and they're going to get the best of you. And that's regardless PC or, controller, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I think that's something that hurts them as a company as a whole more so than it helps them. Like, if we're talking about the more competitive level of play with Fortnite, I 100% would say that building is the best thing for it, because it really,
it was a game changer.
Well, yeah, and it completely separates those two groups of people, like
It does.
the scrubs and the people who really know what they're doing, and those people know how to build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, kind of what I'm getting at is like that hurts the game though, because I feel like from an outsider's point of view, right? Like, let's say I had never played Fortnite and I was like, oh, it's interesting. I want to kind of get into it. There's so much to learn and such a huge gap to get over because so many people are so much better than they've ever been. Like the general level of play is so much higher than it's ever been in Fortnite's history.
Now that
So
you,
so if you were to take that thing that makes people so good and cripple them with it, like make resources harder to find, or you can't hold as many, or you can't build certain places, like that would, I think, open the doors to new players, because I think that's a little daunting for people coming into, that have never played. Like people that are just getting into the game, I feel like that's a huge thing to have to try to get over.
I think that's why they added skill matchmaking.
Mm.
But I still feel like skill matchmaking, you can still get around it. Because when I would get in the game with somebody that doesn't play Fortnite that much, I'd be like, look, dude, sometimes it's a 50-50. Like I said, either you're going to get in a server with the level I am, or am I going to get in a server with the level you are? And sometimes, like what you said, to give chances to new people to play, because if you don't give chances to the new people to play, you're not gonna get more money Fortnite, and you're not gonna get more content Fortnite. You know what I mean? So you gotta give chances to new people to play.
I agree. Yeah.
So, if they want to start not all over with this new season, but if they want to start with limiting buildings, that might help with new people coming in. Because now, I bet you right now, if you go ask somebody right now, do you play Fortnite? That that plays Call of Duty, might even say, nah, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
That's probably
But in
what I hear the
reality,
most.
and not to be messed up and rude, but in reality, you didn't play enough and you're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
true.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well, here's what I would say. Like for someone like me, like I'm definitely like what you're talking with the box building and the editing. I'm not good at that, man. So like the way that I play is like I said before, like I kind of just am reactionary. So I'm gonna try to counter someone and get the best of them. But at the end of the day, the best players are gonna be those box
yeah,
builders and those builders. And honestly, I think that's part of what Fortnite, what makes them so good. Like even me, as someone who's not the best builder, I feel like if they go away from that, that's going to hurt them. Like I
yeah,
don't
it
think
is.
that's a good move. And I'm saying that as someone who's not that good at building, and I'm someone who can get a little frustrated because I'm not as good as these other people in a box build or an edit. I'm the type of guy who I'm like, I'd rather wait for you to make a mistake or edit my thing and then shoot you in the face right after you edit it, because I'm not as good at those things. But at the same time, I can sit back and say, I think if you get away from that, it's going to hurt them,
Yeah.
because that's why people love the game. That's why they play it, because it's different. It's all about the building, man. That's why
So they
people
should
play the
balance
game.
it.
Yeah, but I think that what I'm saying is, I agree, and that's what I was saying with the higher level of play, the people that are more core to that fan base, like that's gonna affect them more negatively than anybody else, and they're gonna feel some type of way about it,
And that's
rightfully
kind
so.
of your backbone, right? Like you don't want to piss the hardcore off, man. That's not the
That's
move.
true. That's
That's not
true.
the move.
I think I will be a little pissed off, but this is gonna be something new for me, because
Mm.
you're gonna learn something new. You have to learn how to counter that
Yeah.
also.
Mhm.
And when we come back to that as well, when we're talking about the environmental damage, that's another thing. I forgot. You saw how I was talking about the flare gun and it's gonna hit the builds, might turn into fire. I forgot that keyword, environmental damage.
Yeah.
That's the keyword that they're really talking about right now. So
Mm.
fire, we got fire right now. Then we got water. So you never know. Waves, maybe
There's
they
like
could go all
a
out.
water gun, a super
They could
soaker.
go look, they could go all out, and maybe there's something that happens around the map that you're playing, and then it's a wave coming and it's gonna knock all your builds. I'm just saying.
That would be
I'm just
cool.
saying. And
Well, who
remember you
knows,
said
yeah.
the tubes? Remember the tubes that you said?
Hmm.
Maybe the agency's still gonna be there. They like a little problem, maybe with the competitive. There's the professional zone is the problem in competitive. I don't know, but those tools that you're talking about in the agency, you said that they're coming up and maybe the water's gonna rise. Maybe those could produce an earthquake in a way. You know?
Oh,
it's like natural disasters season.
Yeah.
Tornado. Let's throw some tornadoes in there too. Why not?
Bro, I don't
know. I
want
to see some tornadoes.
They could do they could do everything they want.
No, it's true. They do really have a lot of that power. Oh, I think I froze up.
Like fire, water, air, earthquakes.
I mean,
yeah.
That if we know something is on fire, that we know it's not going to just instantly burn down, but it is going to burn down.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. So I do think if they toy with that, they can definitely do something with it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like what they should do, but it's a cool idea.
I got to be honest. Like when we're talking about that, I think it would be cool to have things in the game that would help destroy the separation. And that's kind of what I was saying before with the whole, it's daunting to new players. Because, yeah, you have skilled matchmaking, sure. But, I mean, people make Smurfs all the time, and you can find yourself, even at an early level, playing kids that obviously know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, you can make a new account.
Yeah. So it's like, I just feel like regardless, I would like to see something in the game that levels the playing field for everybody. Because in a game where it's so RNG based, I mean, we didn't even really touch on that, but let's be honest, that can decide the entire game. Your first gun out of a chest can like completely make your game. What weapons you have, if you find a pinata, everything is RNG based. So I
mean, that's kind of every battle royale, though.
True, but I'm saying in Fortnite it can be, I think, to an even higher degree.
Even higher degree. He's right. Because
you can win just off of what you get.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Do you guys play Warzone? Maybe we're going to throw Warzone in there.
Quite a bit.
So I remember when I would play Warzone. When it first came out, if you open a red box and you find that MP5, you're going to have that god aim in a way.
Yeah.
No recoil, but the ACOG sucked.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was.
I wasn't an ACOG guy.
Yeah.
Or those MG34s, those are awful.
Well, basically, you'll call it MP5.
Those sucked.
Could have looked at the MP5 to me.
No, I mean, I didn't but I don't I don't mind that there's RNG, but I don't like where things are so marginalized.
OP?
Like you get like one good thing going in Fortnite. Like if you get
like the minigun.
Exactly. Like that gun.
Forget
the minigun. How about Midas's Tommy gun? That thing is insane. That thing is bonkers.
Bruh, so you get the mythic. All right, this I noticed. I'm really like slow. I can't believe I didn't notice that before. But let's say you get the minigun and you upgrade that to the gold. Okay, that's good. I think it's gonna have a little bit of more fire rate. I don't remember. But if you get the mythic gun, that shoots double.
Yep.
That shoots double. It's not the same as the gold. And like with the Tommy too. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they're gonna bring the Tommy gun back. And if they bring the Tommy gun back, I really hope they do. It's gonna change the meta too.
Yeah.
It's gonna change the meta. For example, the P90. The P90 was so good too.
Oh, amazing. That shit was broken.
Like,
that shit was broken good. But that was like the spray meta. When that came out, that was the spray meta. If you had
not
an SMG,
everybody knew how to use it because the recoil was too high.
Here's one thing I would say. So before we were talking about the building, so like if you're not amazing at building or box building in particular, you might not be the best gamer. And then we're talking about Epic, doing different things in the game to kind of maybe bring everybody in. So maybe we want to appeal to other gamers that maybe aren't the best at building. In my opinion, I think the best way for them to do that wouldn't even be to do any of these insane drastic changes. I think it would be something as simply as like allowing weapons to damage, building materials faster. Because I can't tell you how many damn times we might have 4 of us attacking one dude. And if he's a good enough builder, that motherfucker might survive for 4 or 5 minutes just building in circles while people have mini guns, full auto M4s,
Yeah.
rockets. Everybody's firing freaking nukes at this guy, and he's somehow building and getting out of that. So
Yeah, that is annoying.
I would say, like, if Fortnite's goal, if Epic's goal is to say, hey, okay, builders are the ones who are supreme in this game, and we kind of want to make everybody feel included in this game, not just people who are amazing at building. I feel like the easiest way for them to do that would be that mats don't have as much health. So materials, whether it's wood, metal, or brick, they get destroyed a little quicker. Because, like, I gotta say, man, I can't tell you how many times at the end of the game, me and Troy, it's me and him, and we have like 2 buddies with us, and there's like 1 dude left, and like we're right at the end of the game, and literally it takes us like 4 minutes to kill this guy just because this guy could just build out of anything, and I think it's kind of just hilarious. Like, dude, you literally just had like nukes fired at you practically. Like, literally just like thousands, hundreds of bullets fired at you, and you're able to build out of it. I think it's kind of silly at a certain point. So I think for them, it would be easy. It'd be a simple thing. Just lower the amount of health that these mats have. I feel like that would solve a lot of those problems. Don't try to hurt the people who are into building, because you're going to piss them off and they're going to leave. They're not going to want to play the game. And you're just going to piss off that fan base. I feel like for Fortnite and Epic, that's not the move. I feel like for people like me, who I'm not the best builder, I would just be a little bit happier if I could destroy someone's cover a little faster. Where if they're just building over and over again, and it's like, dude, literally, there's no way I can destroy your cover fast enough to kill you. It just becomes annoying and frustrating. I feel like that'd be such an easy way to fix that problem.
I agree. What I was thinking of in my mind is like when I first started playing, right, and what got me into the game to begin with. And obviously, as I said, that was a much earlier phase of the game, and things were very different. Like, you weren't running into players like that on a regular basis. You usually ran into mostly, like, now what would be considered a trash player. You know, that was usually what you were running yourself into. But so the gimmick of building has been has evolved so much and that's what I was saying. Like, in the beginning, you would find a spot and you'd be like, you know, however many mats you have, but you'd be like, dude, we're just going to like fortify. We're going to build a big ass fort and we're going to do it. But now, because it's so accelerated that, you know, when you get into a battle, it's usually like, I'm building towards you, you're building towards me, whoever can grab high ground first. You might try to retake, but I'm just going to eventually get you down to the point where we're in a box fight. That is the end goal. And I'm going to put myself in a like advantageous type position. Like, you build a fort, and then if you don't have as many mats that you can hold,
that's how
that would be cool, because then you'd actually have to be very tactical with how you place your mats. Nowadays, you don't really there's no strategy in how, other than the design of your build and how you retake and how you edit, there's no like strategic advantage really anymore. Like, someone could have high ground, some players play better on low ground. There's a million ways to look at it. There's a huge spectrum of that, but like, it would be cool to see the game be more about like, you don't have as many mats and you actually have to think like, okay, the storm's going to move, like, we want to put ourselves here and fortify and make something and then fight. That to me would be cool. I think that would eliminate a lot of the RNG. It would keep things super high paced too, because if you didn't spend as much time in the game, you know, looting or resourcing, all that ample time that you have would be spent fighting. It would be, unless you were going to hide, which I don't play like that. I know none of us do.
I feel like a lot of people would play like that even more, though, especially in the scenarios I was talking about before, where it's like a 1v4, 1v3, or a 2v4, like end game battles. I mean, if those mats had more health, instead of now taking, you know, 5 or 10 minutes to kill this guy, it's going to take like 10 minutes to kill him.
Mm-hmm. But
I guess it's all preference, I guess.
It's a really good argument that you guys are saying, because Troy's saying something and then you're saying the other thing, but it's good. The argument is really good, because I think this is when we'll be talking about lately about the flare gun, the environmental damage, and maybe new other guns that might penetrate belts. For example, like the 50 cal.
That's crazy.
You know how
like going right through it.
Remember the Desert Eagle 2? It was one shot kill. You could penetrate anything. Metal.
I don't think I even knew about that.
Yeah, the Desert Eagle, you could say, it will penetrate it. It will not penetrate it, but it will break the build right away. just like defeat the cap.
Break it. Okay.
Just
Well,
recently.
wait, but it's funny you just said that though. Like, in Call of Duty, you can shoot behind a wall, and it does reduce damage, but it does a certain amount of damage.
Wait,
That's
what?
a whole other element.
Oh wait,
True.
like it
That would be
shoots
cool.
through the wall, and you get the
Yeah.
hit marker.
What I'm
depends
just
on the
saying,
kind
based
of
on what
wall.
you just said, I don't think that's what you meant. But I'm saying, like, imagine if they did that. That would be
Light bulb.
kind of an interesting
That
gameplay
would be
element.
cool.
That maybe certain weapons that do more damage are able to
Yeah.
actually go through cover, and they don't do as much damage, but they do a certain amount of damage. So now someone can't just do an insane build. That would actually be a really interesting.
Well,
game.
another
That would
thing,
probably
I
be
think
the
they
best.
already started that. I think they did with the SMG, because if you notice in the P90, the P90 also, because if you notice too, if you spray the gun right where the enemy's at, and he doesn't move, you're gonna hit him once or twice at
I
least.
think that's just
True.
because the cover got blown apart. I don't think it's going
No, but
through.
It's not going too
is-
fast, maybe.
No, there's
the build.
there's a small that's very
Delay.
very small. There's a delay in between when a wall goes down and when a wall can be.
But
put
I'm talking like Modern Warfare,
But
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
not
I
even
know
say
exactly what
Warzone,
you're
but
saying.
you know how like if someone's behind cover, you can literally hit them.
Yeah,
Like, so you can like say someone's in a window and they run to the left or the right, and you kind of follow where you think they are, and you keep firing. You can hit them with a certain amount of bullets.
I think that's what it comes into play.
That would be kind of cool to see
environmental
in Fortnite.
damage. Like
Yeah,
we
that would
go
be
back
cool.
to that too.
Okay, so
Thinking-
here's a thought
know.
though. Here's a thought. You're talking about environmental damage. You're saying that wall banging would be cool to see
Wall bang,
in
I
Fortnite.
think it would be cool. I
That'd
mean, that's
be
a
cool, too.
preference.
I like the
That's
idea.
my opinion.
I like
think
that
it would be
too.
You
cool.
like the idea? I'll be
I do
honest.
like that.
That makes you move a lot, waste more mats, fight them.
Yep. That makes it
and-
a lot more intense.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
another thing too is think about it. So it should go through wood really easy, brick less easy, and metal it doesn't go through at all. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you could play with that endlessly, but I think it's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out though. Here's a cool idea I just had. So I was thinking, what if they kind of had a middle ground, right? And where you could, let's say you put up a wood wall. Like I put up a mat, right? I put up right in front of you and you're facing me. I think this would be dope. Depending on the weapon that you're using, like you said, it would be based on the damage. But you know how like now, if let's say we're in that situation, you're on the other side of this wall and I shoot that wall, you'll notice that pieces of the wood and or brick or steel, but with wood, you'll see the slats start to fall off the wall. Some of the slats that are holding the wall up.
Yeah, it like degrades a little bit.
Slowly, right? What if you could actually hit through those openings? What if that would make it so
Kinda
yes,
like
wall bang-
Battlefield or something.
I
We're-
think before you could do that when the game first came out, but they patched
I
it.
would like that. I would think
That would be cool.
would make it really fun for me. So you could design, and that would kind of fall into that. You're saying how they're stressing, right? Environmental damage so much.
Yeah.
That's a huge factor.
plus
bro.
of the new engine.
Yes, but
that's
that's what I'm
exactly
saying.
what
With
they
that,
said.
that's so possible. Dude, the Unreal Engine 6 could do so much.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a preview for that with the PS5 coming out.
Yeah.
On the, I don't know what game that was, but they
But
just
the
dropped
rocks
that.
was falling.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so they can make
yeah.
it so much more realistic and so much better in terms of gameplay. Where if I put up a wall and I have a gold tack, I could blow a hole through that wall, and now I can see you. And
I mean,
then
wouldn't that make sense? Like, what if they
I would
can
like
do
that.
it?
That would
Why
be dope.
not?
That would
Yeah,
be dope.
Why not?
They
It
also said that they want to make the game more realistic. You know.
But isn't that's what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. It all comes
so-
into play. It all starts to make sense, and it is gonna turn into theory right now until it comes out. But you making a lot of sense, right?
But hear me out. Hear me out. Since they're also saying, and I know this from an article I read, that Xbox, excuse me, Microsoft and Sony PlayStation, they both came out and said that they were going to drop Fortnite as titles for their new system, right? What if? Now I know I'm throwing a lot of what ifs, but this is just me
It's
thinking.
fun to talk about.
Yeah, this is me thinking. But what if now going into that, they drop Fortnite? Because remember, Fortnite right now is technically a beta. They said that since season
that's
3.
It's
true.
been beta since it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've been
2 years.
They've been holding on to that. for mad long. They said we're a beta, you know, there's constantly going to be changes, whatever.
That's
until
a good point you said. Yeah.
So what if now when they drop this Fortnite, this is going to be its own title, like its own thing. It's going to be Fortnite, like, because Fortnite right now, there's like Fortnite Battle Royale, there's Fortnite Save the World, and there's Fortnite Creative. Those are three separate entities that kind of make Fortnite what it is now, right? Yeah. Whereas if you just drop Fortnite and it was a Battle Royale, same free-to-play system and same, you know, platform, but now on a new engine with totally new mechanics, you could have everything the way it is in the Fortnite that exists currently and have that maintained and never have to change anything about that and completely create a new title and a new series for people that are interested in playing but aren't willing to try to, you know, practice every day to get like nasty at box fights. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it would still cater to both fan bases. I think that would be super cool to see something realistic where, you know, like I said, bro, you throw up a wall, like not taking building out of the game, but just being more realistic about it. Yeah. If you build a wall and I fucking, you know, I have a shotgun and I blast a hole in that wall and pieces of the metal start to fall off.
Like CS5, like Rainbow Six.
Yep, exactly.
That's environmental damage to me.
That
in
is.
A way.
No, that is. That's 100% environmental damage.
But
that's
you can
really
go into
cool concept.
You can go into deep and you can add like what we talking about, water waves, like tsunamis, you could say, earthquakes, fire. But yeah, go back to you, Troy. My fault, bro.
No.
Wanted to throw in CS5. I mean, Rainbow Six. You wanted to throw it in there.
Yeah, no, but that's actually the first thing that came to my mind when I was like, when you were talking about this, like I was saying that, I was like, oh, if you blow a hole through a wall, I'm thinking of like if I play as Smoke in Rainbow Six, like I'll go up to they call them soft walls because they're not reinforced. Yeah. Right. And that could kind of even be an idea that they could work off as well, spending your materials to fortify walls. I don't know if you guys have ever played Save the World.
Nah.
No.
In Save the World, you actually have like a home base area. Okay. And then there's missions. So you leave your home base area, but you go on missions. And then every couple missions that you do, eventually you get to this like, it's kind of like the end of the chapter for the quests. And you go back to your home base and you have to fortify your home base and make like crazy walls, but you can actually spend additional resources to make the wall like a real wooden wall. Like not like with like little sticks and shit holding it together, like a straight up like wooden wall that holds up your base. You can do the same with steel. Did I lose you guys right there? No. You're still okay.
I hear you.
We're good. No, my screen went down. But yeah.
I was gonna say maybe we got stuck too still listening to you. I look like we froze.
Like, no.
Yeah. I was listening to you, but I'm focused on you right now.
Like just that idea would be cool. Just to like you spend additional resources, make building a little bit more realistic, make it the Fortnite that Fortnite's supposed to be. Like build forts. Don't just be or if you want to keep that meta kind of the way it is, but still introduce something new as a mechanic, is have that where you could bust through people's shit and actually like if I hit that wooden wall and I bust that thing open, maybe even have penetration damage. If you're sitting behind a soft wall, you know?
Yeah. I think there's potential there because think about it. You have the mats anyway. You have the wood, you have the brick, you have the metal. They're different. So why not allow let's say wood, you know, bullet penetration on wood is going to be a lot tougher and on brick less. And maybe let's say metal, none, you know, however they want to play it. But it's a cool idea. I'm glad that Brad brought that up because that would be kind of cool to see them add that in.
I would love that, dude.
I think they're gonna add it, but they're not gonna add it right away.
I don't know. If they drop it as a new title, as a separate entity, because how are you gonna like? How would that work in terms of transference, right? Like, what I mean is,
if they do that, if they do that, I think this is gonna split the community.
You think so? But you'd still have the game, but you'd still have Fortnite like the beta. And you could still use that as its own thing, and people would still play that.
That means they have to cancel it because then nobody's gonna be paying attention to the new one. They're gonna have to cancel.
So wait, Troy, what are you're talking like have a totally separate game? Is that what you're saying? What are you saying?
More or less, yeah, because they did that with COD. They did that with Modern Warfare.
But the thing with COD is different, bro. You know, the thing with COD is that it's different companies. We got Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Slumdog? No. I think those are the ones I remember.
Those are the three. Those are the main three that can.
Yeah.
And
Raven, those are the come straight.
Raven comes
straight to my mind. Oh yeah, Raven, right?
Yeah, Raven
Okay,
does some of their work.
like I said, my uh so sorry, I lost my mind. So COD, it's the same thing. COD, they share the same title, and like you said, yeah, you could still go back to the same COD, but if you think about it now, you can't get in the game. Like go
Yeah.
back to MW2, you're gonna have to plug in your MPT and PS3 and hope you get in the game.
Yeah.
If you want to play Black Ops 1, same thing. Gotta hook up your PS3 and hoping you get in the game. But if you're in the PS4 system, you still got chances to hop in the game with old titles. For example, Black Ops 3, which I've heard is still active.
Black
It's
Ops
still
2 is still active. Believe it
Yeah,
or
but
not,
that's
Black
because
Ops
it's on
2
the
is
PlayStation.
still
That's because it's
live.
on the PS4 platform still.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And PS4 is PS4. You could switch into games like nothing. You can still do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can't go back to old systems, and I think that's the problem. I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're just gonna say, "Oh, it's official," and maybe you're gonna have to pay $5 to get the full access or something.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I'm just saying, think about if you do decide to go down any of those directions where you really take away the main thing that makes that game what it is, you know, or you slow it down, or you know what I mean? Like you hinder those people, that could potentially ruin the game as well. You know what I'm
So
saying?
right now, Rob, somebody on my stream, his name is Smiley. He just said that you made a really good point. He said
about what part?
he said this is what he said. Rob, so that people that have to be skilled at changing the types of builds while in fights.
Mm.
So what you said also that you could penetrate and you can't, and like what you also said, I think that's what he meant when you could switch to wood, and it's gonna penetrate right away.
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool, because look, we have it in Modern Warfare, we have it in other games, so I feel like that would be something that, let's say I'm not the best at building.
That's what he said.
Better,
exactly what we just said right now. Shooting through the weak builds versus the strong builds.
Yeah,
Yep.
so if I'm building with brick, now you might be able to hit me a little bit, but it's not going to do a lot of damage. Let's say metal, you don't break through at all, but wood. That
point about the, you know, switching the types in fight, I think that would be cool. I think that would be a good idea. Yeah. And like I said, maybe even being able to spend resource on fortifying individual walls or buildings. You know what I mean?
You kind of can do that. Like you can heal a map that's not destroyed.
Yeah, you could. But what you said was really like more realistic, and it could help players get better and not get pushed too fast and keep the game alive a little bit.
Yeah.
And also with that point you said, if they're gonna add 150 players, then they're gonna have to reinforce mats, get more guns. I don't know if the map is already big enough.
Yeah, the map's pretty big.
And and they're gonna have to reinforce all of that stuff.
So what do you guys think? So if let's say they do the Warzone route and they're gonna do 150 players, in Warzone you start with a pistol. Do you think they're gonna have you in Fortnite right now?
That's
you don't start with anything. If they go to 150, I feel like they gotta at least give you that pistol to start with.
And you know, and when you're gonna go into deep, and when we was talking about Warzone also too, if we're gonna go deep into that, are they gonna add a gulag?
That would be cool.
Like,
that's a whole other cool
they're gonna have to, because the respawn ban works. And if AKA, you know, buy your teammate back. And you can buy him whenever you want. You just gotta have to the job box. You gotta go to the thing. I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing. Maybe you could buy your teammate with mats. Or I don't know.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what they're
gonna
add.
Concept.
They're gonna have to change that because Warzone is kicking their ass.
Yeah, Warzone's
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Warzone is more fun in a way right now. And you'll find more players that are enjoying Warzone because they're familiar to that gameplay, the first person shooter. Because we're gonna go back to we go back to that. I enjoy Fortnite because it was third person and it was different.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know.
Yeah, well, the building, man. I mean, there was, even for someone like me, again, I'm not a great builder, but the building's different. It's fun. It's something different, man.
Yeah. But yeah, we want that. I want that. I want that in the game. What you said, when we was talking about that, I really want that too.
That would be really
keep
cool.
The game more moving.
I feel like it'd be fair, man. I mean, like, I think it's kind of insane that, like, I get it. Some guy's a master builder, but Like, dude, you have 4 people firing like thousands of rounds at you, and you're somehow able to keep getting out of it. But then finally, when you run out of mats, we get you. Like, come on, a little bit of bullet penetration through wood and maybe brick would be reasonable, I think.
I agree. I think, and that's the thing too, is, you know, you got to look at like the mats are essentially your health. I mean, more or less. I mean, if you know what you're doing with them, that's the way you stay alive. Without mats, you know what I mean? And so that's why I was so strong on my point before, which is like, I do think that they should hinder it, but still make it a thing. Like, it should still be important to the gameplay. It shouldn't be taken away.
Of course. I mean, that's Fortnite.
Yeah,
building. That's Fortnite.
But do it in a more, if they're talking about realistic, do it in a way, like, they're going to have to make it where you can't just, you know, do that. Like, I'm going to build like a pyramid in 2 seconds and you can't touch me. Like, that's kind of dumb. Or I can just spam.
Forget that, dude. It's just, I'm building a circle for 5 minutes.
Yeah, now it's dumb because it's
Forget a pyramid.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's dumb?
Well, no, what you said, that you build the pyramid, you box fine, you can't touch me now, you know? If you're really good, you're going to hold your builds. You have a lot of mats, you're going to hold your builds. And if you're really good, you're going to push and you're going to mess them up, you know?
Well, at the end of the day, I don't care what game you're playing, whether it's Fortnite, Call of Duty, Halo, I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, it should be about skill. And I feel like in Fortnite, there's a little bit of a disconnect with I'm a really good builder and I have a lot of materials. And I'm able to just kind of put off my being killed by building. And I feel like that's where it becomes annoying for me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. Yeah. That's why they should try to cripple it a little bit. Like, have it as a needed thing for the game. And regardless of how you choose to go about the mechanic of being able to put a wall down in whatever capacity that is still going to make the game unique. It's still going to abide by the same rules that, hey, I can build on the go. That's cool. I like that. I'm not saying they should even take that away, but I'm saying, think about, you know, now it's in, and that kind of goes back to the RNG thing. Like, if I have more, you know, mats than you, I'm probably going to win. It's the truth. If we come out of the beginning and I have more mats than you, yeah, it's pretty much.
That's happening now. And like, when I told you about the gulag, you think they'll add it?
I think that could be a thing. I think that's a possibility for sure.
I think it's possible.
And what the chat said as well, he said the gulag is something new. It's introducing a new thing as well. You got a better chance. Too.
Well, know what that reminds me of is, like, remember what Apex? They had the ability when someone died, you could bring them back.
And then Fortnite got it, right?
And then Fortnite added in. Now it's in Warzone, so like it's almost become the new standard. So who knows? Maybe Gulag will become like a new standard. So
you said is more chances. We need more chances for the casual players. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
We need more chances because in Fortnite, I mean, Call of Duty did that with the Gulag.
Yeah, no, it's true. It opens it up more. It gives an opportunity. Give me 1 second. What's up?
You really need to.
Yeah, man. The Gulag, and then like I said, I think if they add that, it's really gonna be a good thing. They're gonna get more chances. Maybe they're gonna spawn with a pistol. I think that's a smart thing, you know. You spawn with a pistol.
That would be fair. Well, let's say, dude, if they really do raise it to 150, I don't see myself
in Fortnite landing with 150 players and then being a bunch of guns in the floor. Like a lot of guns. It will make sense if you just spawn in with a gun, at least a pistol, great pistol, and you just start.
Yeah, great pistol's fine, man. It's something. Because look, when you get respawned in Fortnite, you spawn with a great pistol. Yeah. So it would be kind of the same thing. Like, if you're going to up it to 150 and there's so many more players, I feel like that's kind of fair.
That is true. When you spawn in Fortnite with the van, you spawn with a pistol.
And you have 100 mats. Or 100 or 100 wood. Yeah.
You have a chance. You have an opportunity. You know?
But that's slightly chance when you could have at least 2 chances. That's one chance to me when you can have 2.
Yeah.
To win the Gulag, you know. I don't know. We thinking outside the box and we going really deep into it, but I think that's really cool. I think they should add that.
No, I think that would be really cool. I'd be open to. Hey, man, like we just spoke about before, the bullet penetration I think would be freaking awesome, and it would help negate the whole builder versus like maybe somebody who has really good aim.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot they could do with it. Then we spoke about, the rumors of the flare gun. So maybe we might have elemental damage. We might have more water. We might have fire that maybe can burn things down. I mean, I think those things would be cool. I guess we'll see, as they update the game and if they're going to add stuff like that in. But I think it's cool. I'd like to see some of those things. I think it sounds pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice it would be a nice thing. And if we are going down their trends and how they copy shit, then I'd say they're gonna do it.
I don't know.
The gulag kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they would copy that trend just because they know it's something that's successful.
Well, maybe it is copy. It's copy, but don't make it slightly the same. Just like copying homework. Don't copy it.
Yeah.
The test. But yeah, they did it with Apex when Apex came out. It's
a new standard. It's a new standard.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do it to keep it to date.
Yeah,
they have to. They have to. It's just.
I wonder how that works with the connectivity. So think about it. You got 150 people, and then now you're adding in gulags, and to get that to work, that's pretty impressive. Like, I wonder if Epic's going to run into a problem. Like, how are they doing that? Because it sounds like it'd be hard to get that to work. But I mean, I'd love to see it.
I would like that. Yeah.
Look, Call of Duty's doing it, so there's a way to do it.
Somebody said right now maybe a super small map or 2 dead players like Warzone Gulag. 100 mad pistols and battle. Yeah, the same thing we were just talking about. 100 mad pistols and you spawn with mats. They have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make it fair. I think that's a good way, especially like you said, if we have adding 50 more players, bro, that's gonna
lot.
And like you said right now, Ninja and Cypher said they want it. You just said that when we first started. Yeah. That's the first thing you said, that the latest update, they want that. They
All right. I want to bring up something else. Okay, so I don't remember who I heard it from. It might have been your brother, Troy, or it was someone, and he was saying that I just heard a recent statistic that like 60% of the freaking people you encounter in Fortnite lately are bots. And I will say firsthand, I am running into a disgusting amount of bots lately. So I would like to say, okay, if we're going to go up to 150 though, are they just going to be bots? And if they are bots, like, I don't know, man, because every time I kill a bot, I'm like, okay, yeah, I have more kills at the end of the game, but like, I kind of don't feel very good about it because it was just a bot. Like, I kind of feel like a loser. Like, okay, yeah, I killed a bot. Who cares?
Yeah.
So bots are a whole new factor in Fortnite with this, Chapter 2. We didn't have bots before Chapter 2. So we had however many seasons, no bots. Now, how many months ago with Chapter 2, and now we're on Season 2 of Chapter 2, we have all these bots, and it seems like they're increasing the amount of bots. Now they're talking, let's go to 150. Okay, if we're going to 150, is it going to just be even more bots? I don't know. I don't know if I like that.
I wouldn't like that neither, because Warzone doesn't even have that.
No, I think
if there's not enough players, you're gonna start that Warzone with 90 players, and the game is gonna drag. But
yeah, that's true.
But at least they're
being real. They're being real. Exactly.
Yeah. I'd rather that.
Here, I don't want to go off on a tangent because this is probably going too long. We're on our third attempt here with
you good, man.
This. But I just was watching. I was just watching a video and they were talking about Warzone and they were talking about all the anti-cheat stuff that Infinity Ward is implementing. And I guess they're doing a really freaking slamming job with stopping people that play this game. They're literally banning their hardware. So you have these hackers and these people that are cheating, and somehow Infinity Ward has figured out a way to, like, literally their graphics card, motherboard, different things, components in their actual physical machine where they're figuring out this account. We ban that account. They may start a new account, but now we've been able to figure out it's the same person, and they got their game together.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. If you go look, there's tons of articles talking about Infinity Ward is cracking down on people that are cheating in this game, which I think is super cool. And I feel like a lot of other developers drop the ball with that because, I mean, that's just a part of gaming. There's people that are cheating out there, and Infinity Ward is doing a great job with that. Then on top of it, we don't have bots. Like, I feel like Infinity Ward's killing it right now.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Battle Royale,
they're killing the game, or they're killing like the game.
Like, no, they're doing well. They're doing a good job. Yeah.
They're doing a good job, man. Like you said, they're introduced to Gulag. We have 150 players. Like, They're cracking
That's
down
if they
on,
do it. If they do it, that's a big thing for them, and it's gonna bring players, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. But if they don't do that, they're gonna lose players because if we go back to the Fortnite, if they add the environmental damage and the wall banks, then it's gonna be a fast-paced game, and there's gonna be a lot of like raging.
I wouldn't mind that. I would like it to be a little bit more accelerated because like unless you're offense heavy, like and you're aggressive and you don't spend most of your time looting or you're quick about it, like you're not gonna find that much action.
But
Like
that means that the gun rate gotta go up. The shield rate gotta go up. You know.
yeah, no,
That
that's
means
true.
That means you have to spawn with a gun right off the bat, or shot up straight out the bus. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like if you go to, let's say Epic goes to 150 players, I feel like you have to do that. And I would like that 150 players to not just be mostly bots.
They gotta fix that, and they gotta convince us that it's not bots. Because if they don't, then they're just gonna get people mad.
Dude, you can tell. I mean, how many of us
No, you could
playing
tell.
Fortnite, and you're like
But not
there
when the
might be
game
there
starts.
might be 20 seconds where you're like, is this a person or a bot? And then you're like, oh yeah, that's a bot.
yeah,
And then,
you know, it's immediate. It's
yeah,
like
you
yeah,
get that kill and you don't feel good about it.
Yeah,
Like you're
it's
not
Yeah.
like, maybe if you're one of these incredibly casual people who like is awful at the game and you don't ever get kills and you kill a bot, maybe you'd be happy and you might not notice. But like, let's be real. Most people that are still playing the game, you're probably not that bad. And you could probably tell the difference between a real person and a bot.
That's true. The way they build,
yeah.
because the bots don't build.
Everything, man. I mean, like, I've had bots where like it's so apparent, like it's just disgusting. Like they're just standing there like hitting a wall while you're firing at them. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, I that like kills it for me, man. I don't that so it just makes it unenjoyable. You just it's like you said, that satisfaction of actually getting a kill and doing something nice, you know, or even decent. It's like that goes out of the window completely with a
You
bot.
don't feel
It's
good
like,
about it. Like, you might be happy that your tally, like the number at the end of the game, is a little higher, but aside from that, you're not satisfied with killing bots. It doesn't feel good.
No.
Yeah. Nah, that's true. But I don't know. But we talked about this already, and somebody said that what if they just limit the 100 players and make it less? But that they can't do that, because then that means they have to make the map smaller, and then the game will last longer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't do that. They can't do that.
I don't mind how long the games take. If you compare like an average game of Fortnite to an average game of Warzone,
15 minutes.
yeah,
Huh?
it's like 15, 20 minutes for Fortnite. It's like 30 minutes plus for Warzone. Like if it could be one of those games, and it's like obviously it's always based on chance and shit. But like a full game of Warzone takes dumb long. You know what I mean? You could bang out like you could take you could, dude, you could bang out like 2 games of Fortnite in the time it takes you to get to the final zone in Warzone. You know, so that's like I don't know. And then to think like if they don't do a good job at taking out the bots and kind of eliminating that from the game, and it's like kind of like what you said before. You know, you get into the end game and you know the last 2 teams are just bots because the other people happen to die. It's like that's whack. Like that's gonna make the game stale.
And they also gotta add new rewards, because if you're gonna grind in a 150 player game, and like you die right away, then what the hell? You're not gonna want to play no more, because then you're gonna say I'm gonna die right away.
Yeah.
That's how some people think, actually.
Yeah.
So I think they should add more rewards into it.
I agree.
What I've talked about a bunch of times is like, you win a game. So let's say right now it's out of 100 people. Give me a couple V-Bucks. Like it doesn't even need to be a lot.
Save the world, I think.
Like give me like 20 V-Bucks. I don't care what it is, but like I feel like that's kind of not fair either. It's like you win a game out of 100 people and you don't get anything for it.
You get like a little
lot
bit
of
XP.
Nothing.
People will grind that game all day.
Give a couple V-Bucks maybe. It may make you feel a little better. I don't know.
Yeah, like 10, dude. Because once you get through that battle pass, it's like damn. Like I mean, right now, yeah, you have the gold skin, so that's worth grinding for. You want to get the experience, but it's like I don't know, man.
Don't get me wrong. I had a ton of fun with this season, but I'm kind of at this point like I'm just doing other stuff. Like I'm not investing all this extra time to get this guy's skin and that guy's skin. And a lot of people will, There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
me.
Like, and if you're having fun, yeah, if you're
Fortnite's-
having fun, dude, go
Yeah.
for it. But like me, I'm kind of one of those guys where like I love Fortnite, and Fortnite's always there for me. Like I'm always playing Fortnite but I'm also playing other stuff. Like it doesn't have all of my attention, and like right now, that's not enough to keep me like, yeah, let me get to level 300. Like no, like I'm for someone like me, I'm not gonna do it. Like
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. I think there's definitely a lot of ways that they can improve.
but if I got V-Bucks, maybe I would.
Yeah, seriously. If you knew you were kind of working towards like a goal other than just skins that, I mean, it's cool. I'm grinding it out, but like, I don't know.
I gotta look. I don't know what level I am. I gotta see what I'm at.
Like Brad, I think you're right, man. If they do make those kinds of big changes, like you're gonna have to have, a better reward system for people playing, especially if you're grinding out. Like games are gonna take forever. It's I don't know. It's asking a lot. Like with Call of Duty, they reward you crazy. Like you buy that battle pass, you get so much, so much. Like,
and I'm gonna bring it back right now. Do you remember when gaming was actually about game? Well, gaming's still gaming, but gaming back then was actually about we still put times and hours to game, but for other reasons. But back then, if I remember right now, you got your PS3, right? Fresh. There was games popping out, and those games will actually give you achievements that you could show off in your profile in the PlayStation, just like you could do it on Xbox, I think. That thing as well. I think that's a cool thing, and they should start doing that too. Apex is doing that, actually. Apex is doing that. You get those badges, you be good to go. You showing those badges and etc. And I think they should start doing that too.
Yeah, that's true. They have cool stuff where like there's banners that'll show like how many wins you have, how many kills you have, how like all different stats on whatever particular character that you're playing or what season you were on. Like, yeah, they're kind of better with that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like people can see when you load into the game, like, who am I going up against? Oh, I'm going up against this dude who has like 50 wins and 1,000 kills and whatever. Yeah, they have cool banners in that game.
They do a good job with that game for sure. I mean, they've implemented
That's a really
lot
fun
of
game. I mean, we don't really ever talk about it. We don't play it a whole lot. We do play it sometimes, but Apex is a great game. I love it.
I'm just waiting for. I know they actually just said it in like a recent leak because I guess one of the developers from Respawn was talking about it, and they don't have any plans in motion for a new Titanfall. But I got to be honest, if they dropped a Titanfall type battle royale, I probably wouldn't play like anything else, bro. That is like, I'm gonna be honest. Titanfall 2 like was low key one of the best multiplayer games of all time. Like,
wait, Titanfall, I remember when it came out. I really wanted to play it, but I didn't.
Titanfall 2 though, 2 was like beyond anything, man. Like, yeah, it was really good. They did such a good job with that game, bro.
And like you said, Apex 2, I think they're gonna drop the crossplay on July.
Really? That's actually.
Yeah, what are they holding out for? Why do they not already have
That's
crossplay?
another thing. What I said.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, if they did that crossplay, then there's a lot more people playing that game right now. I will be playing that with my homies because some people that I play Xbox, they're really good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think at this point too, we talked a little bit about going forward with the new systems and stuff. I really don't think that the gaming market is gonna, like, unless you're playing a single player game, which is obviously not the scene for the most part. Most of the scene for gaming is multiplayer and competitive gaming. That's esports, that's streamers. But I think with anything that is going to be multiplayer, anything that's going to offer that is going to be part of the scene, or at least attempt at being there, they're going to have cross-platform. Yeah, like for the new systems, you need that.
Well, like we said before, becoming the new standard. I think that's becoming the new standard. If you have that competitive multiplayer game, it's got to be cross-platform.
And Fortnite was on that before, like anybody. Fortnite was like, yeah, we got a great game. It's making a shit ton of money.
They pushed for it because Sony was holding out. Sony didn't want to do it. Xbox was like, yup, let's do it.
Yeah.
Even PC, they were like, let's do it. Even Nintendo was like, let's do it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Sony was like, nope, we're not doing it. They held out forever. Until like a year ago.
I think they're making a smart move, Apex. They wait for that new console, man. Get that full experience.
That's true.
Well, didn't they just put it on a new season? I gotta check it out.
They did.
I just saw a game trailer for it.
Season.
It's got to be like 5 or 6,
7.
something like that.
7, yeah.
I definitely just saw a trailer for it. But here's what I would say about Apex. I don't want to go on a tangent here because I could talk a lot of Apex.
Yeah.
But I would say the thing that I like more about Apex than probably any of these other battle royales is the movement. Like the way you move and you're able to kind of slide and glide down hills and move and jump and the movement in that game feels so nice. Like Respawn did such a good job with that game. I think when they're locked into that 3-player squad, it kind of limits them because there's a lot of people who are like, well, I got at least 4 people I want to play with. So I think with 3, it kind of limits them. So maybe if they go to 4-player squads, I think that would help them. But Apex is great. I love the gameplay. I love the movement. Apex is a great battle royale. I mean, we've been talking about Fortnite and Warzone, but I'll give my nods to Apex. I love Apex. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's a really good game. I can't help but feel like that you have so many elements from Titanfall 2 in that game. Like so many. Even the guns are a lot of them are from
wall
Titanfall.
Running. I would love to see the wall running.
Yeah,
the wall running was amazing in Titanfall.
Yeah, but that's like I just look for that kind of high pace type play, and like that's why I've been so in love with like Paladins even recently, just because it offers that. And I think if Fortnite can move in that direction, whether that's with the flare gun, environmental damage, whatever, I think they're in for a lot of success, man. I think they're gonna do really well.
I think they are. This is gonna take it slow.
Yeah. All right, yo, let's wrap up.
Yeah.
Brad, thanks for coming by, bro.
Yeah, bro.
It's been great talk, bro. We got to get you back in here. We got to talk some more.
Whenever you want.
Weird theories about games, bro.
And I really like this theory because we don't know.
Yeah, moving forward, and that's the thing we should try to touch back on. This is like more info
on
releases.
The next gen.
Well, because I mean, think about it. We're going into this next season at in 2 weeks, 3 weeks most.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and from there you can imagine, bro. There's gonna be some huge changes. We'll kind of get some insight into maybe the direction of the game's moving in. They'll probably maybe tease some stuff for us, and we'll kind of get more info. But until then, it's been a great talk, bro.
Yeah, dude. It was really good.
Yeah, man.
Inviting me for sure.
Oh, of course, bro.
No, thanks for popping in, man.
Something new. Yeah, y'all gotta bring me back, yo. I gotta bring me back.
Round 2, bro.
You'll be like our resident Fortnite guy, man.
Yeah, dude.
We'll check in with you every season,
don't matter.
maybe.
I'm an everything guy.
he's the Fortnite god, bro. All right, man. Well, thanks for everybody who tuned in. Hopefully you enjoyed what you were seeing, what we were talking about. Any questions, comments, any of that stuff, leave that in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for more of our content. I'm gonna post everything we have, all of our tags, everything at the end of this video. Thanks to Brad for that one.
Yeah.
I'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right, guys.
All right.
See